Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. All right, today is another very beautiful Friday morning. The very first day of November. It's a quite very beautiful month as well. And we welcome you to this very today's prediction games. All right. Yesterday we had a very actually very successful outing. Yesterday we saw that once again our second ticket was actually quite successful. But the first ticket actually messed up just by a single goal. But anyway, it's a very good outing for us. And today we also intend to do very well. And in a short while, we'll be looking at matches one after the other. And as usual, making a verdict based on recent statistics for each of these teams. All right. All right. I want to use the opportunity to ask those of us who are coming across our video for the first time yet to subscribe to kindly take our time to hit the subscription button right now so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. Okay, that being said, without further ado, let's head to the business of today, and we'll be starting with the first match or the first ticket. Actually, the first match in the first ticket is Monaco coming up against Angers in the French league. All right, looking at Monaco in the last recent 6 games that they had, they've been able to win 3 games out of those. They've also had 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 6 matches that they had so far. That's FC Monaco. All right, they're looking at the away side. Angers, they've managed just 1 win. They've had 4 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 6 recent games for the away side. Angers. And looking at how they fared from home and away perspective, playing from home, Monaco FC have actually won 5 games in the last 10 home matches that they had so far. They've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses in the last 10 home matches. And away side, and has managed to achieve 3 victories in the last 10 away games. And they've also had 3 draws as well as 4 losses in the last 10 away games that they had so far. So in this very encounter, when we look at how they fared on head-to-head basis, we could see that the last time they met it was Monaco FC, who had victory against this very side even from away on that occasion. That was in May last year. And prior to that was also Monaco beating this very side. So it has always been Monaco who has been quite dominant on these very meetings for both sides, winning, all last 6 head-to-head meetings for both sides. Monaco won on all occasions. So we do expect to see a repeat of that very fade in this very one. So we expect to see home side FC Monaco to win outright in that one. All right. That takes us to the next game for the first ticket. And the second game that we have is in Egypt Premier League. We'll have Zamalek FC who will be up against National Bank of Egypt. All right. Zamalek FC in the last 6 have had just 2 victories. And the other 4 has been a draw. They've not lost a single match. And the away side, on the other hand, National Bank have managed to achieve 3 draws actually, and also 3 losses. All right, they've not won a single match in the last 6 matches that they had in recent times. And when you look at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, you could see that the home side, Zamalek FC, in the last 10 have actually won 5 games out of the last 10 matches that they had. They've also had 4 draws, and also they've lost one match out of the last 10 games that they had so far. In a very strong side in English in Egypt Premier League. And when you look at National Bank in the last 10 away games, they've managed just 2 victories, 3 draws, as well as 5 losses in the last 10 away games for National Bank. And we will put all that together. All right. Also noting the fact that the last actually the last 7 head-to-head meetings for both sides have resulted to Zamalek winning on all 7 occasions, defeating this side each time, playing from home and away. Okay, I've also seen National Bank also achieving a victory just once, in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. And the last 3 meetings for both sides saw Zamalek winning all 3. And in this very one, definitely we expect to see a positive result for the home side, the Zamalek FC, and it is at home side to either win or draw, and under 4.5. That's our value for that very game. Home win or draw and under 4. Okay, that takes us to the next. It is also in Egypt Premier League where we have Fafa who will be facing Al Ittihad. And when you look at recent games for both sides, Fafa, the home side, have won just a single match in the last 6 matches. They've also had 4 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 6 games that they had so far in the Premier League. And when you look at the away side, on the other hand, Al Ittihad, the away side have managed to achieve 4 draws in the last 6 games, but have lost 2 out of those. Not won a single match in the last 6 recent games for the away side. And when you look at how these 2 teams fared from home and away perspective, playing from home, Fafa FC have managed to achieve 4 victories in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 losses as well as 4 draws in the last 10 home matches that they had so far. All right, that tells you a lot about this very side. It's a side that does well. Actually, when playing from home, they're not the side that loses a lot of matches. And all right, the loss that they had was actually against Al Masry, and Al Ali was actually the very strong, the strongest side in Egypt Premier League. All right, looking at Al Ittihad, the away side in the last 10 away games have managed just a single victory, but they've had 4 losses as well as 5 draws in the last 10 away games that they had so far. All right, that tells you a lot about this very side, and they play a lot of draws in most of their matches. So in this very one, when we look at the performances from head-to-head perspective, the last time they met, it was Faco who had victory on that very occasion, defeating his side on that occasion by 1 goal to 0. Prior to that, we was also Al Ittihad playing from home, also winning. And all right, it shows that usually whoever plays from home against this very side do not lose outrightly. So in this very encounter, we expect to see Faco, the home side, achieving a result against this against Al Ittihad. In this very encounter, it is home to win or draw and under 4.5. Once again, that's our verdict for that very game. All right, that takes us to the next game, and it actually the next ticket, because this first ticket contains 3 matches, and the next ticket that we have starts with also in Egyptian Premier League. We'll have Pyramid FC who will be up against Petrojet. Okay, and when you look at the situation here, in the last 6 for Pyramid FC, they've actually won 2 games out of the last 6 matches that they had so far, and they've had 4 draws. And the away side Petrojet have managed three victories, 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 6 recent matches that they had so far. And when you look at how the two teams fared from home and away perspective, playing from home, we know Paco is a very strong side, doing very well, from last season and up to this very moment. And we saw them winning their 8 matches out of the last 10 games that they had from home, and they've also had 1 loss as well as 1 draw in the last 10 home matches. That's very good, pretty good result for the home side. 80% of the home matches have resulted to victory for them. And when you look at the away side, Petrojet have managed to achieve 4 victories in the last 10 away games. Have also had 1 loss as well as 5 draws in the last 10 away games that they had. Not the best side performing from away. All right, when you put all this together, also noting the fact that the last time they met, it was Pyramid who played from home, and they won on that very occasion by 2 goals to 0. And prior to that, we also saw Pyramid also beating this very side by 2 goals to 0. That was far back to 2019. And in this very game, we definitely expected home side Pyramid to rise to the occasion once more and win out in that very one home win. That's our verdict for that very game. Okay, that takes us to the next, and it is in French League 2, where we have Dunkerque who will be up against Amiens FC. And Dunkerque, the home side, have actually had 3 victories in the last 6 matches. They've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And that away side, Amiens, have managed 3 victories, 2 losses as well as 1 draw also in the last 6 matches that they had. All right, we're looking at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective. Dunkerque, the home side, in the last 10 home matches, have actually seen 5 victories in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 losses as well as 3 draws. And as a matter of fact, the last 5 home games that they had, sort of winning all 5 home games. Dunkerque, they're doing so well when playing from home. And then when you look at the away side, Amiens FC have actually had 3 victories from the last 10 away games, and they've also had 1 draw, and also they've lost 6 matches in the last 10 away games that they have so far. And looking at head-to-head perspective, you can as well see that Dunkerque, actually won the last time they met, which was in April this year. Dunkerque played from away, and they're able to achieve a victory against this Amiens side by 1 goal to 0. And prior to that, we saw Amiens also winning from away. That was November last year. But in the last 10 head-to-head matches for both sides actually produced a very, very small amount of goals, and the maximum they have produced is actually 3 goals in the last 10 head-to-head meetings for both sides. So that tells you that this very side does not see a lot of goals. But noting the fact that the home side, Dunkerque, will not be losing from home, because they're doing very well in the last 5 home matches that they have so far. Have won all 5, and in this very encounter, we expect to see home win or draw, but under 3.5 in this very encounter. So home win or draw under 3.5. That's our verdict, and that takes us to the last game of the second ticket, which also be the last game of the day. It is in Wales Feeders League, where we have Airbus UK who will be coming up against their Bangor. All right, Bangor 1876. That's the name of the team, and looking at the recent games for both sides, we'll see that for the home side, Bangor UK have actually had 4 victories in the last 6 matches, and also they've lost 2 games. And away side, that was Airbus UK. They've had 4 wins and 2 losses in the last recent 6 games. And away side, Bangor have managed 3 victories. Also, they've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw in the last 6 matches. And looking at how they fared from home and away perspective, from home, Airbus UK, a very good side in this Feeders League. They've actually won 8 matches in the last 10 home matches that they had so far, and they've had 1 loss as well as 1 draw. The only loss that they had was against TNS, the strongest side in that very league, and they had a draw, against Buckley Town. But the other 8 matches saw them winning convincingly. We've seen a situation where they won by 8 goals to 3, 7 goals to 3, a whole lot of goals coming out from this very side, and Bangor, their away side, have managed to achieve just 4 victories in the last 10 away games. They've also had 2 draws, but have lost 4 matches out of the past 10 meetings from away. And in this very encounter, we look at the head-to-head performances for both sides. It was Airbus UK who won from the last time they met, which was actually January this year. We saw them beating this very side by 4 goals to 0. And prior to that, in November and October last year, Airbus UK also won from away by 2 goals to 1. That tells you that Airbus UK have been quite dominant, and they've been also scoring lots of goals in most of these appearances. So in this very encounter, without spending so much time, we expect the home side Airbus UK to win outrightly in this very one, and also score a lot of goals. So it is home win and about 2.5. That's the value for that very game, and that brings our predictions for you today on Betcraft to conclusion. I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes once again. Also, remember to play responsibly. These are football games, all right? That being said, tomorrow is another day. I will be coming up with our predictions on this very channel. Do not miss out. Until then, keep winning. All right.